They muted because they're talking about us.
Are we live?
Are we? Can you guys hear? There it is.
Cheers!
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. Welcome here.
Welcome. Welcome to the new show.
The new show. Yes.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Okay. Well, last week was kind of the new show.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to tell everyone.
Yeah.
Cake update. We had cupcakes from Ed because it was Ed's birthday last week, and I saved 2 cupcakes and I took them home and I put them in my freezer, cleverly hidden behind a bag of hash browns, so nobody could find them. And then I ate both of them on Saturday.
Wow.
One after the other with my coffee.
Beautiful. That is a good cake update. Mm. You love to see it.
Mm-hmm. What? They still can't hear us?
It feels like half the people can hear us and half can't. At least, I think on the PIANOTE site, they can hear us.
Oh, no, Tim heard me talk about hash browns.
Oh, there we go.
I know, I love hash browns too.
Okay, we're good. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, well.
The new show.
The new show. This is pretty cool. We're still getting used to, I feel like you're growing with us as we try to grow with this show.
Yes.
And do a smooth delivery. But basically, we have some highlights.
Yes.
About the week, about PIANOTE. Has it released yet?
Let's check. I do believe it has. Let me go to the home page here and check it out.
We're going to show you.
Yes, how to play Canon in D for beginners.
Oh, you guys have been asking for this tutorial for ages. And there's lots of reasons why it didn't happen. But one of them being, we had the incredible and lovely and sweet and kind Summer at the studio. She's our final piano coach for this year. And she teaches a course on arranging. And so she's actually taking Canon in D and showing you guys how to, throughout her course, like rearrange it to make it your own. But she also teaches a beginner's tutorial on how to play Canon in D so that if you're new to the song, you can develop your foundation before you jump into the course.
Totally.
Which is really, 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 really cool. And we're super excited about it.
Canon, it's just one of those songs that you just have to know it. As a piano player, it's like a staple in your repertoire. And half because it's just such a popular progression. It's one of the most popular progressions in the entire world. And you'll hear pop songs with it. You'll hear even rock songs with that same progression. The only people in the world, I think, that hate Canon and D are cello players. Because cello players have to play the same 8 notes the entire song.
That would be brutal.
That would, yeah.
I'm chewing on ice and I'm on the internet and I feel really bad about it, but ice cube just got in my mouth.
Well, just embrace it.
I'm just going to embrace it.
Looking forward to her course. Yes, Tim. We are also looking forward to it. Yeah, the video just dropped recently on the PIANOTE members area.
Do we have a little clip?
We do have a little clip. So let's roll the clip so you guys can see a little sneak peek.
Hi, I'm Summer Sweesing, and I'm going to teach you how to play a beginner's version of Canon in D by Pachelbel. So Canon is a very iconic song. You're going to hear it at tons of weddings. So if you're a pianist and you want to make that bread, definitely learn the song if you haven't already, because you can definitely play a lot of weddings with this because it's so highly requested. A lot of cellists don't really enjoy playing this piece because they essentially have 8 notes the entire song that just repeat over and over. But the fun thing about the fact that Canon was originally arranged for strings, and we're actually going to be playing it on piano, is that you could combine all 4 different string parts into just your 2 hands, and it makes for a very full-sounding piece on the piano. So let's dive into it. All right, so first let's learn that left-hand part that doesn't ever change. So the left hand is playing the cello portion, and these are the 8 notes. D, A, B, F sharp, G, D, G, and A. And that just stays the same throughout the entire piece. So next we're going to add in the right.
It's so exciting. So those are the famous notes that the cello players are all very excited to be playing.
Oh, yes. That's so fun. She mentioned, I think she's like, yeah, if you want to make some bread on the piano, you got to learn this song.
You got to. So that's launched in the members area now. If you're joining us on YouTube, members have early access to this particular lesson. So Just a reason to come hang out
Just
with us
come
in the
hang out with us in the
membership.
members
People learn
area.
that today. And in other news, we were talking about doing a jazz course. Was this our last show? Was this last week?
Yes.
We're like we're just chatting like, oh, maybe Kevin should do a course on jazz. And then we suggested you guys start a forum.
And you started a forum in the piano members
Yeah,
area.
just a little bit. Things are getting spicy.
I've been getting lots of emails, I've been checking out the forums now, and there is like enough content in there. Like after looking at what everyone
You
has
guys
said,
wrote it.
You guys wrote the book already, and like that could be a method in and of itself. It's like there's so much stuff there. So it looks like I'm gonna,
Looks like you got your work cut out
I got
for
my
you.
work cut out for me now. So I'm definitely gonna start working on something, taking account into everyone's feedback, like what kind of stuff people want to learn. So keep posting in the forums if there's like anything in particular that you're really interested in. And but yeah, hopefully we can learn some jazz techniques, some like starting off from basic stuff and learning some jazz standards, stuff like that, and just how to play jazz. So
Oh, that jazz.
that is something that is coming up the pipeline.
Yeah, it's happening.
Down the pipeline? Up the
Around it.
Around the pipeline.
It's gonna happen. Okay. Okay, so I'm like the most excited about this because I think Charmaine, who writes our piano blog, The Note, sent this my way. So in the world of piano, there was a break-in and burglary. Yeah, we need some special music for this.
Thieves.
Okay, so last week, a couple on a date, apparently a first date, and this happened in Hendersonville, Tennessee, broke into a church because they wanted to play a piano. So this couple is shown on surveillance footage from outside the church. They're pulling up in their Mustang. Then they go to the church door, see that it's unlocked, smile, and then just like let themselves in. And then according to the police, they stayed there for 30 minutes playing the piano.
Just playing the
and then they
piano
took some stuff.
Yeah.
So then they went to jail.
They did get arrested. They have since been released on $3,500 bond, whatever. But I don't like. Was it worth it? It's a great story. It really is. We don't recommend you break into churches to play the piano.
No.
However, if I was going to break into a church, I would look for a pipe organ.
Right?
Like one of those like big pipe organs.
Yes. That would be worth breaking into, maybe. And I felt the door wasn't locked. So if they hadn't stolen things while they were in there,
Then it might have
maybe
been
it would have been okay.
Because
Church is like it's a space.
everyone's
a
welcome to church, right?
space.
So they should have just had the welcome mat and hey, come on and play the
Come
piano.
on, there it is. So, do you guys what do you guys think about that? Would it be worth it to break? I mean, the answer should technically be no. But what's the craziest place you've played the piano? Have you ever done a break and enter?
The greatest heist ever, says Tim. Oh, Ed they saw some pipe organs in Europe. Yeah, Europe is known for having, the big cathedrals, and some of the organs there are out of this world. Like they're built in to the architecture of the building. It's crazy. If you've never had a chance to just go appreciate like an actual like pipe organ. And I mean, I've seen some smaller ones, but like never those big ones like you see in like Italy and stuff like that. But
There's a pipe organ in your barber shop?
in the barber shop, crazy.
Wow. Okay, here's a crazy thing. In Yarrow, so I live about like an hour and a bit outside of Vancouver. There's a little teeny town called Yarrow. And in Yarrow, there's a little teeny church. And in this teeny church, there was a pipe organ and a harpsichord.
Oh,
So the
wow.
pipe organ was built into the walls. They only recently removed it. And they had like a legit harpsichord, which I got to play on.
You did?
Yeah, it was really cool.
So what does a harpsichord look like for people who don't know?
Like a piano, but different. It was really a long time ago. It had
Gotcha.
it had keys, and it was like this,
Yeah. It's like a piano, but different. I like that
and
explanation.
it sounded different.
And it sounds a lot different. Back in the day, like they didn't have pianos. Like, composers back, in Beethoven's day and stuff like that. Like they would compose songs on the harpsichord.
No pedal.
No pedal, and everything was like one volume. Like you couldn't play soft, you couldn't play loud. And actually, the piano, like when it was first invented, was called the pianoforte because they wanted to create an instrument like the harpsichord that could be both loud and soft. And eventually they dropped the word forte, and we were left with the word piano
That we have today.
today.
So very
The more you know. I think we need one of those, like the more you know things. Just always like be going across.
Yeah, I fully agree with you, actually. Okay.
Beautiful. Okay.
I really enjoyed that little diversion. So speaking of like a long time ago,
Yes.
we got some cool stuff for today. We got some really cool stuff for today. So number one. Oh, I'm not gonna tell you actually. We're gonna just
Some cool stuff, but we're not
we're not gonna tell you what
it
it is. We're gonna be actually looking at one of the most famous songs of all time. We're not doing a song tutorial because we've already given you a song tutorial for the song. But we're going to be dissecting what makes this song amazing. So you guys are going to get a little crash course in musical analysis. But I promise it's going to be fun. So to get us all ready, to get us all in the zone for this, check out this little clip of the song we're going to be diving into. Now this song is so iconic that it is recognizable by only 2 notes. You hear those? You know exactly what's coming up next. So in this lesson, I'm gonna teach you how to play this song, and not just the main theme, not just the beginning, the entire thing. So let's dive in. All right, we're gonna begin with our right hand 5 finger on E, and we're gonna be rocking between E and D sharp. Just like that. Then we move to the B, D, C, A, and it all lands under our hands when we're in this A minor shape. So we're gonna play it again. Do it with me. E, D sharp, E, D sharp, E, B, C. That's not C. That is D, C, A. Then the whole hand picks up and moves to a new shape. We're gonna play C, E, A, B. And notice how I used my 1, 2, 4, 5. And then we're gonna pick up again and play E, G sharp, B, and C. Now I'm gonna pause there for a minute, and I just wanna let you know that the fingers that I choose to play these notes don't have to be the same ones that you use. So if you wanna do a different fingering pattern than I'm using, 100% go for it. And you may find that as you watch me teach this, I change up what I do from round to round. So don't get too attached to a specific set of finger numbers. Just go with what feels best for you. So let's do that whole little bit one more time. E, D sharp, E, D sharp, E, B, D, C, A, C, E, A, B, E, G sharp, B, C. Now the beautiful thing is that you're gonna play this low E, and then you're gonna sort of tip your wrist up, and you're repeating the exact same thing that you did before, and you're bringing it down to C. There's our B. Now we're gonna land on D, C. I tried to sing almost too high. B, A. Now let's bring our left hand in to join the party. So our left hand's gonna be playing to join the party. It's really, really unnerving to hear yourself talking. Like super unnerving.
I totally know.
Goodness. Okay, so this song, this beautiful, beautiful song, if you're in the membership with us right now, we actually have this as a download for you below the live event. You should be able to just hit download somehow, somewhere. Where is it?
I mean, I see it on mine. I don't see it on yours.
Oh, I probably would have to refresh to see it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so if you don't see the little download button in the members area, just refresh, and then you'll be able to download the sheet music so that you can follow along with us. But we're going to show it on the screen as well. So Kevin, why don't you talk us through your process? I'll do the writing, you do the talking.
All right.
Okay, here we go.
So, talking about music analysis, what is it? Why is it important? Looking at a piece of music like this, there's no chords written whatsoever. So, one of the main things you're looking for when you're trying to analyze at least classical music is what are the chords being played? Like, what is the harmony doing? And so we're going to take you through our process of how we sort of start to figure that out. So Lisa is here with the beautiful, the key. Yes, the key is very important too. Is it in the key of C? Is it in A minor? We have no sharps or no flats. So we have a lot of question marks that analyzing music is really going to help us kind of determine. And the time signature, we're in 3/8. Like, what does 3/8 even mean? Lots of questions. So right off the bat, because this is a very, very popular song, Fur Elise, that first kind of chord, you can tell right off the bat that's a minor chord. It just sounds in that minor key. It sounds like it's in that minor key, right? So we're in the key of A minor when we're starting this one off.
And you know this how? Give us a little more information, because when I look at this, I get confused. Well,
we have our opening line,
sharps,
right?
and you're like,
so
where are we?
How do we figure out that was A minor? We have this, the most famous line in the world. And now when I get to this A right here, I have this one line, which if I break that up, A, C, E, and A. I'm playing 3 notes, a combination of A, C, and E. And A, C, and E, Lisa, gives me what chord?
An A minor chord.
An A minor chord, and that kind of establishes the key of the song, A minor, A, C, and E. So sometimes you're gonna see that chords can be broken up. Like if you just look at the left hand, you only see the A, E, and A, which you might not know, oh, is that A major, is that A minor?
Could be anything.
It could be anything. So we look at the right hand, and then we see our C natural, and that tells us, okay, that's gonna be an A minor chord, because we have A, C, and E. So if we look at the next measure, now I'm going to B on my right hand and E on my left hand. And right off the bat, I have a big E octave, and I go up to G sharp. And then my right hand kind of tells me the chord, E, G sharp, and B. So right here, E, G sharp, B.
Right there in the right hand.
That tells me
what
that's
did I do?
E major.
Here.
Right there.
That's
So
your E major chord. So you could just write an E.
So we would just write E major right there. So then for the next one, after that, I go right back to this A minor kind of position. And the whole A section, the first part of the song is going between A minor on the left hand and E major. So I'm kind of dealing with this chord, A minor, E major, and A minor again. So this E major is really interesting because
this is a theory moment.
this is a little bit of a theory
Yay!
moment. We have a G sharp in here, but the key signature says
A minor. We just
A
know.
minor. There's no
sharps.
sharps, no flats.
What is this?
I wonder if someone from the chat can tell me where did this chord come from?
Oh, I want to know if
Is
anybody
my
knows.
question. The E made, there's a G sharp. So the hint is this, there's some sort of scale, some sort of minor scale in particular that has a G sharp in it.
Dun,
But
dun,
we got
dun,
the answers
dun.
coming
yes,
in.
Sylvie's got it.
Sylvie, Cuthbert, harmonic minor has that G sharp. So this is called borrowing chords. We're borrowing a chord from a harmonic minor to give us a major chord. Or if you make it into a 7, it's also that same, kind of gives us a really nice resolution to A minor. And Beethoven knew that, so he makes an E major to make that 5 dominant chord sound really nice, to go back to this A minor. This is what it would sound like if it was an E minor.
No.
I mean, it's not what we know.
It's wrong.
It's wrong. It is
the wrong mood.
It's wrong. So he thought, I need to take this outside of, I need to borrow a chord. So let's borrow E major. And that's a very common thing to do because the E is the 5 chord in A minor. What I mean by that is in the key of A minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5th note is E. So if I make that a major chord, that's gonna resolve really nicely back to my 1. And that happens over and over and over and over again in classical music. Okay,
So,
back to this.
Actually, no. I propose a diversion.
Okay.
So if you were to just take the A minor and the E major and the A minor and be like, I don't want to play Fur Elise, I just want to have some fun with those things.
Totally.
What's one, like, what could it sound like?
Just take the same chords, but play them differently. So, a song inspired by Fur Elise.
Here we go. Here we go.
So let me take those. I'll take that kind of same approach with like a broken chord of sorts, using A minor, and then E major. I might even make it like a dominant 7.
2 chords to sound amazing.
So let's try something. What kind of, should I go for like a similar mood or?
Upbeat.
Okay, upbeat.
That's pretty. And now sad. Well, it's already kind of sad.
Yeah, it's
But like moodier. I've run out of energy. Ooh, it does sound like Alicia Keys, Tim. Because her album was songs in A minor, wasn't it?
I actually don't know.
I think that's what she called it, yeah.
This is what Alicia Keys would sound like if she played this. Elton John version of this.
So good.
That's so weird.
I love it.
It's just 2 chords so far. That's all we have up to this point
Okay, we can keep going.
in the song. Okay.
Back to the iPad,
Back
friends.
to the iPad.
Back to focusing.
Okay.
Okay, we're on like measures, and it kind of repeats. So we've got the A minor, and this is still A minor here, and then E's here with the G sharp, and then back to A minor.
And back to A minor. So you can see, Lisa, can you circle like the theme of the song where there's no chord?
Like here?
Yeah, just like that. Na, 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 na,
That's the
na, na.
melodic theme.
There is the melodic theme, and it comes again right there. So you can start to see a structure being formed. He establishes a melody, plays a couple chords, establishes that main melody and that main theme again. So if we took that same formula, if we were copying Beethoven and I was composing a song, I could create my melody, have some broken chords in there, create another melody.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and so it's things like that that you have to start like looking at. And the thing is, we're using Fur Elise right now as like our vehicle to learn how to do this stuff. But you can analyze any type of music, and it's really useful because when you hear a song that, like, I'm sure everyone here has a favorite song, and it's probably their favorite song for a reason. A lot of the times, the chords are doing such cool things, like the way the chords work with the melody. Because right now, we've just only begun by analyzing the chords. And that's how you start. But then eventually, you have to analyze the melody as well. And like, what note is this in this key, in this chord? Like, it can get so in-depth on how far you can start to analyze these things. Sorry, you continue.
Let's look at this next section, because the chords
Cool.
take a little adventure.
They do. We finally get out of A minor for a second.
And I think what we have here, okay, so measure 7, do we call this measure 8, 9, 10?
Sure.
11, 12, yeah. So measure 10, everyone, if you've got the music in front of you. So we're looking at this measure. I'm going to just put a little line there for you.
Yeah,
We're looking at that measure right there. Can anybody figure out or tell me what this chord is?
So without a piano, how do we figure out what chord is being played there?
Any guesses?
Doug A's got it.
Doug's got it, yes. You've got it. So this is a C chord, and I don't want red. Chords are blue. This is a C chord, because we've got C, we've got G, and we've got E. And that's kind of what gives us that.
You got it, and this is what it
landing point
sounds
of a C
like.
chord.
Let's see, where are we? So we just finished. I'll kind of lead into it.
Okay, guesses for the next chord. Oh, my ears just want to hear it. Ooh.
Just that left hand alone, you can kind of tell what it's going to be from the G, and the B. Any guesses?
I'm going to put, and that's guessing a G.
We got lots of fire emojis there, thumbs up. It is our G.
Now, there is an F in this, isn't there?
It starts off with that F. It's kind of like, almost makes like a G7.
Yeah, I was gonna say, would we call that a G7 or would it just be a G?
You'd call it, it could be either. I would call it just a G, just to stay in triad land for now.
Okay, and then we go back to this A minor.
I think you know where we're going.
E. Oh, and then look at, friends, our melodic theme returns. I hope that you guys print your music and do this from now on forever.
Totally.
And we'll stop there. That's the only part we really need to look at today, probably, because we've got more fun things to do.
You got it. So we went, what happened there in that second ending? We went from a C chord, a G chord, A minor, and then E. So it feels like it changed key into the key of C momentarily, where all of a sudden this kind of sounded like it resolved here. And it felt like, okay. But then we kind of kept moving through, went to a G. I know I'm playing it wrong, but then I'm just to get the chords. I went from C chord to G chord, and then A minor to E. And then all the way back to A minor and E and A minor. So he's not using a ton of chords, 4 chords, even Beethoven. C, G, A minor, and E to create
the classical chord progression.
The classical chord progression.
It actually is. It feels like the major 5, like the E.
You got it.
Feels very classical
to
me, anyways.
I mean, it's just this sound of this progression is just screams Fur Elise because it's one of the most famous piano songs
of all time.
Of all time.
And yes, this process can absolutely help you to memorize a piece.
Oh, yeah.
Like, majorly help you to memorize, because everybody has a different learning process. So for some of us, we're very auditory, but for the more visual learners, seeing it sort of laid out like this. Can we come back to the iPad for a second? For me, when I look at this, I'm like, oh, wow, we've got the red parts, like that's my theme, and then I can structure out mentally, okay, A minor, E major, A minor, A minor, oh, there's the theme again. It just helps me so much map out where I'm gonna go with the song. And I know it's not like, we can come away from the iPad if we want, but I know it's not really very classical to improvise off a piece of music, but when you apply this to a pop song, for example, it really gives you all the information you need to start to create your own accompaniments and little like melodic lines and phrases.
And you'll start to see patterns as well. So if we let's just quickly take a look at the melody.
Yes.
And how to analyze the melody. See if we can, dig into the mind of Beethoven. Like, what was he thinking when he created this?
It's been a while since I've done this.
Okay, can we get another color? What color do you want to try next for the iPad?
Okay, we'll do green.
So this is when, my favorite part of analyzing music, when I start to understand how the melody works with the chords. Okay, you got green?
Yeah, I got green.
Okay, let's throw the iPad up again. Beautiful.
What are we doing?
Okay, so let's take a look. Can you circle, for example, the held notes when we get to the C chord? So E, D, C, and B. Those kind of dotted eighth notes.
This one.
You got it.
This one. Oh, I'm a bad circler. And this one.
Okay, so let's look at that. So what is he's targeting those notes for a reason, and then he has this rhythmic motif where it's hold, bum 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 hold, bum 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 hold, bum 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 hold, right?
This is even more fun. Sorry, keep going.
Okay, so hopefully you guys can still see that.
I'll delete it. I just was having fun with the Apple Pencil. Okay, carry on.
Okay, so E in a C chord, what is that in the chord? E is gonna be the third. So if I play this,
whoa,
that's the third. Then he moves to the fifth of the chord. The fifth of the G chord is D. And then he moves to the third again in A minor, and then he moves to the fifth again.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even know this!
And it walks down in a pattern going
okay, wait.
D, C, B.
Can you talk us through that again? Show us the chord.
Okay. I'll show you the chord.
I want to go through this slower. This is important.
Let's do the overhead for a second.
Overhead camera.
Oh. Okay, so his notes, it's just going down. E, D. These are the target notes that he had. And between that, when he's going G, he goes up a seventh, and then gets to his next target. Then he goes down, goes up a seventh, goes down, and then up a seventh. But his main target points that he's trying to hit are E, D, C, B. And so the way that this fits with the chords, he's like, okay, well, let's do some musical math. The C chord. E is the third, right? Then he goes and he goes, okay, let's do a G chord where now D acts as the fifth. Then he's like, let's do the third again. So it really feels like a pattern. And then on the E chord, let's do the fifth again. And if I was to keep doing this, I could go to F chord.
You've got Canon and D now, sorry.
You have Canon and D starting. That's the same pattern. And then back to the fifth. Do you see it? Fur Elise is just Canon and D. Okay. It's just the first half.
Okay, so wait, if you wanted to medley Fur Elise and Canon and not D, would that be your moment?
That you could, because listen to the melody of Canon in C. Let's do Canon C for now.
Oh my gosh, we're nerding out so hard right now.
It's the third, then the fifth. The third, the fifth. The third, the fifth.
What?
The third. But then the third, he does the third right at the end. And now Fur Elise. Third. It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
That's amazing.
Who plagiarized who? No, I'm just joking.
Whoa.
I'm just joking. But that's the thing. You start to analyze music and you start to connect those dots. Like, I had actually never connected those dots till this very moment that it's following that same pattern, using the third, using the fifth. And that's when you start to see the melody work in tandem with the chords. And there's actually, the more that you can have patterns in your music, the more musically pleasing it's going to be to the ear. Because humans, we love patterns. We love to listen to patterns. We love to see patterns, especially musical patterns. So he's using a combination of rhythmic patterns, having a rhythmic motif, hold, bum bum ba hold, bum bum ba hold, ba dun dun hold, and using it in tandem with his melodic pattern of you going third, fifth, third, fifth.
Do you think, okay, but here's the big question of the day. Do you think was Beethoven, did he hear this in his head? Or did he write it down? Was he mathing or was he creating outside of logic?
See, back in the day, the people who were like Bach was the master of creating patterns. And if you ever go back and listen to any of Bach's music, he was all of his music was so theoretically approached to where he was just so smart, and everyone back then had such an incredible base of theory knowledge that they didn't have to think about it as if it was math. It just came to them naturally because it's just as easy as breathing to them. It's just, I'm just gonna do this, here's a pattern, and that sounds really nice, and it's gonna work because back in the day, Fur Elise wasn't actually considered a crazy, beautiful song.
Yeah, nobody really thought it was amazing.
Everyone's like, it's just a normal piece of music. It's nothing incredible. But there was something about how simple it was. It was just 4 chords, at least that main part that we all know. And eventually we kind of picked it up, and it's now, one of the most popular classical songs of all time.
It's pretty awesome.
It's pretty awesome. And Lisa actually has a whole video that you saw the clip of teaching the entire song.
All the parts. I had to practice.
It's the entire song.
I had to practice. It was really worth it, though.
You crushed it. And
it's really good.
Yeah, and it's just a step-by-step how to play that whole thing. So as you start playing that song or new songs, see if you can find those patterns, see if you can start analyzing music, because so much is gonna come out of it. You're gonna have so many little light bulb moments that sounded really cool, but why does that sound so cool? So in theory, when we're in theory, when we're working through how to apply theory onto piano, you also got to do it in reverse and say, okay, I have this piano song. Now, how do I get the theory out of it? What did they do here? Why does this sound so good? And kind of start to dissect, your favorite songs.
It's really cool.
Very cool.
Any guesses what song I'm practicing now? Also by Beethoven.
I know, so I can't
Very
spoil.
moody. This one's moody, moody, moody. It's putting me in a mood when I practice it. And I'm having to be so strategic because I'm going to teach it to you guys, and it's kind of tricky, but also not tricky at the same time. So I'm trying to find a way to make this really simple to play. Come on, guys. I want some guesses here.
Everyone's got it already.
Somebody's...
Tim, Alexandra.
Tim knows.
It is the sonata, the famous sonata. That is the Moonlight.
The Moonlight Sonata. I am only teaching the first movement because I am not insane. But
that's what everyone wants to learn. That's the
the
best part.
Eleni can play the hard parts.
Eleni can teach the hard parts.
I don't know. Eleni is crazy. Okay, so we thought it's time for, are you ready for this, everyone? Chord progression of the week.
I was thinking about what chord I wanted to play there.
So, you guys have some homework. Aside from, I think it'd be super cool if you printed this music and marked it up, similar to how I've done it here, but you can create your own version of this. But then your homework is to take this chord progression, A minor, E, A minor. You could throw in the C, G, A minor, E if you'd like, the little B section there, and make something of your very own.
So, let's take the chord progression and base it off of Fur Elise. So, we're gonna have 2 sections to this chord progression. It's like chord progressions of the week. The first one we're gonna do is the A minor to the E, back and forth. Okay, so when we're doing this, let's see if we can kind of keep it, Beethoven inspired and try a broken chord of sorts. But let's try a different broken chord. Let's do an A minor arpeggio. So going just like this, A, C, E, and A. And Lisa, what time signature should we do for this chord progression of the week?
I wasn't paying attention.
Do you want to do 4/4?
I mean, I think we should.
6/8, 3/8.
I feel like, do we have to pick one?
I mean, to teach, we have to have something.
Okay. I mean, okay, so it's in 3/8.
It's in 3/8, which if you don't know what 3/8 means, there's gonna be 3 beats for every measure. So you count 1, 2, 3, 1.
Which
2,
feels similar
3.
to 3/4, does it not?
Yeah, it feels exactly the same as 3/4, but the way in the sheet music that you count it, the 8th note is worth 1 beat.
So I wanna challenge everybody to take it out of the 3. Yeah, I want to put in a new feel. So I think probably 4/4. Like normally I'd say, we always do 4/4, but because this one's gonna feel so different in 4/4, I think we should.
Okay, so let's take this pattern. It's similar to what he's doing. So we're gonna take A, E, A, and then we're gonna cross over to C. So we're gonna have a little crossover in there. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. That's what we're gonna do for our A minor. So this is gonna be a heavy left-hand chord progression of the week. And for the E, I did a similar thing. E, B, E, G sharp. So let's try it all together. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3. One more time. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Now let's add our right hand, so just hit an 8 minor chord. 2 and 3. Now E. So I was going from A minor here. And you can make broken chords if that's too easy. So now we're gonna take that same pattern over the next chord. So now this is the B section of Fur Elise. So the 3, 4. So that was C chord. C, G, C, E. Then we go down to G. G, D, G, E. A stays the same. And then down to E. One more time. C, G, C, E, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And now broken chords in there. And then you can go back into that A minor bit from the beginning. See if you can try that out. That's actually quite tricky, but it's only tricky because my brain just wants to play Fur Elise when I'm playing those sort of patterns.
That's why I said
I'm like, ugh. 1 and 2 and 3. And we're like, yeah, Fur Elise is 4/4, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2. It kind of works.
It does. I think
It's
Sarah did
interesting.
some of this. She put it into tango, and I think it worked. No, wait, that might not have been 4.
Anyways,
That was so fun.
cool.
Okay, so now you guys have your chord progression of the week. Post your creations in the forums. Also, since we're like working our way into like a official show format, I really enjoyed reading about the piano crime. But if you guys come across like any really hilarious or quirky piano news, things that are notable, feel free to throw those in the forums too, because I will always be able to check that and we can chat about it at our session next week. So where to go next? Well, my friends, we have
A student of the week to announce. All right.
Are you ready for this? And the student of the week is Megan! W. Let's take a listen. If it's too soon important for you to be working on the pedal, don't worry about it. Unless you're confident with the pedal, it can be too many things at once. So I'll leave that with you.
Student review for Sound of Silence in the key of E flat minor, found in the song tutorial. I do have it memorized. I do play with a metronome, and somehow I still can't get through it without mistakes. So, if you have any tips for me, that would be wonderful. But here we go.
Megan is so amazing and inspiring. We our members are commenting about how there's kids in the background and Megan's still focused, which is
so
no small
laser focused, like concentration. Only a mom can possess, says Tim.
It's so true. That was amazing. And Megan's also a Singio member and very dedicated to her practice there. So this is a really, really cool moment.
Yeah.
So now it's time to answer some. Oh, Megan, you get a T-shirt, by the way.
Yes.
Send Kevin an email, and you've been with us for a while, so you may already have a T-shirt or two. So maybe just check out the PIANOTE shop and let us know which one you'd like, and then let Kevin know. He'll hook it up. So, okay, now we have questions from our students.
We do.
We're gonna answer them. I'm going to find them somewhere here.
There we go.
Ooh, is this them? Is this
Yes, that's him. ALM, the first one.
Whoa, more theory, guys! Come on!
Circle of Fifths. Why is music composed in so many different keys? Keeping a key signature simple, like key of C, no sharps or flats, or a key with minimal sharps or flats, seems to be more straightforward when playing a song and no one is singing.
Okay, that's a good question.
That is a fair assessment. It is easier to play. It's not necessarily better. How do we answer this?
I feel like you could. Everything could be in C.
Everything can be in C.
Everything.
Especially when you're just starting off and learning. Starting off with keys like key of C or A minor, or even keys with one sharp or one flat like G, E minor, D minor, F, stuff like that. Those are keys that are great to start off with and when you're learning songs.
I have a game. We're going to play a game now.
Okay.
Everybody close your eyes. Not you, Kevin. You have to play the piano.
Okay.
Kevin's going to play us the Sound of Silence in any key of his choosing, or any song if you don't know that one.
Okay, I just heard a snippet, so I don't know. I know the song.
Don't tell us what key you're playing it in, though. And everybody's eyes are closed, so nobody knows.
Let me just try to figure out what key she was playing it in.
Okay, everybody close your eyes. Okay, now Kevin's going to play this in a different key entirely.
Am I?
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. Give me one sec.
Okay, your eyes are hopefully still closed. And I want you to notice just the subtle differences here. We're gonna do one more key change when Kevin feels ready and is an appropriate time. And I want you to pay attention again to how the feeling, the energy shifts. to be like, this is different. But when you hear them next to each other, it is different. Like each key signature has like a nuance. Some feel like slightly brighter, some feel slightly darker. And that's what makes learning all these keys so exciting.
You have a favorite key, Lisa?
No.
You don't have a favorite?
I really love C sharp minor, I'm not gonna lie. My Heart Will Go On was composed in this key, as was Moonlight Sonata.
There's lots of classics in this key.
It's a really good key. What's your favorite key?
Mine is C minor, E flat major.
Truman's too!
Is it yours too, Truman?
100%.
It's
C minor. Everything Truman plays is in C minor, that pentatonic scale, right? Oh yeah.
Yeah, C minor for me. I don't know. It fits so nicely under my fingers, and just when I'm playing up and down the scale, it's got the right amount of black notes, the right amount of white notes, just the superior key in my
Just so
opinion.
good. Okay, see, so that hopefully that gives an answer. It's a very like difficult to pinpoint answer, but
There's no one right answer. Music is composed in so many different keys for so many reasons, whether it's a feeling of emotion. I know on our Piano social media, we've had a couple posts like what kind of keys give like different sort of feelings sometimes. And apparently, and if anyone else knows if this is fake, you can tell me in the comments, but apparently the key of D minor is the saddest of all keys. Have you heard that before?
no,
You haven't heard that before?
no,
A song is composed in D minor for whatever reason.
just the most.
It's just
sad.
been, I feel like I heard that there was like a test done on it, but I cannot confirm nor deny that. It is speculation, but I've heard that D minor is the saddest. I mean, it does sound very sad.
Oh dear. No. So we need to change keys now because Steve L is recovering from COVID. This is not a D minor situation.
This is not.
And finding it really hard to get motivated to practice and play. Any tips? Well, I would say yeah. You're just getting over COVID. I remember, I had it fairly mild when I had it, and I didn't want to do anything for like quite a while.
Yeah, sometimes you just need to rest.
And that's okay.
It's okay to take a break from the piano every now and again, especially if you're recovering from COVID.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're not too sick, and hopefully you're feeling better now. But if you do feel the motivation just to play a song, it doesn't. If you're just trying to get at the piano, don't think about I have to go practice these scales or practice this. Just go try and play a song, and hopefully that'll get you sitting at the piano. Once you're sitting at the piano, then hopefully that leads to more songs and then practicing and stuff like that.
And if a song feels overwhelming, then just play one scale. That's it.
Yeah.
Just be like, oh, there's a piano. Da, 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 da. Peace out. Go do something else. That's how you'll get started. One or the two approaches should work. My happy place. Aloha. I noticed Cassie teaches C major arpeggios, right hand starting 2-4. Most people use 1-3. Is there a reason Cassie uses that fingering? Yes. I remember the answer to this. If Cassie's listening, she's going to be so proud of me. So I think oh crap. I can't remember.
Do you want to sit at the piano?
No, it has to do with like the space of the notes and the fingers. Shoot! I thought I had it. Kevin, why is it? Oh,
I'm not
because when you go 2, 4, and then you tuck, and you have to go from the 1 to the 2, there's more room here for the 2-octave ones. That's what I recall. I think you should ask her in Technique Tuesday because she'll tell you
that's a Technique Tuesday
specifically. I really thought I had it.
Or if Eleni's in the chat, maybe she knows.
Yeah, Eleni might know. There's a reason for this. Shoot. I play them 1-3. Cassie plays them 2-4. There's neither right. Neither of those are right or wrong. They're just whatever works and feels best for you. And I believe the argument for the 2-4 fingering is a more efficient movement after the tuck to help you to continue on.
Yes.
Okay. Oof, got through that one. Thanks, Kathy. Thanks, Eleni. So you can, thanks, oh, there was more thanks there. Thanks, Deb. Okay. Piano members got my back. Ooh, Tim.
Oh,
good idea.
Good idea. What's a good idea? Let's see.
Just wait for it. Just wait for it. Kevin, you have a project for right now.
Okay.
You have to play this.
What the heck?
If you do this, I'm gonna be so annoyed.
I'm not playing it right, but what the? What?
No.
I know. I have no idea. What is that? What song was that?
That's Bad Out of Hell.
Bad Out of Hell. I have to spend some time with that one, Tim. Give me. That's an epic intro. There's some big piano in this song. I don't know if I realized that.
You need to get like really into Meatloaf because there's so much piano going on.
Yeah.
And it's a real good time.
He has another song with a crazy piano intro, but I can't think of what it is.
All of them?
All of them, probably. Man, that's crazy. It's something like that.
I think that's going to be next week's chord progression.
Oh
That's
my
really funny.
gosh.
All right, good effort there. Ms. Riz got an email to sign up for lesson. I'm confused. When I signed up, it sounded like it was for new members. I'm a lifetime member. Ms. Riz, you might just have been put on an email list that you shouldn't have been. So feel free to just send an email to team@pianote.com or support@pianote.com and we'll help you get that sorted out. Bugle bag. I joined piano after I started playing the piano, and I sometimes don't know what to watch or what lessons to see in the method. What should I do? Well, I think that it's best to just start from the beginning of the method, unless you already have some kind of foundation in the piano. And those lessons are meant to be enjoyed consecutively. So you can watch a lesson, write down whatever it is that you need to practice, and then move on to the next lesson, and just keep adding until you've got a good little 20-minute practice routine off of what you've learned. And then once you feel like you've mastered some of those things, you let them go and you add more on, and you just work your way through it like that. We've got a really good video series called How to Use Pianote that will be really helpful for you to watch. It'll really kind of talk you through how to create your own practice routine. And I think that that'll make a difference for you.
Yeah, big time.
What's next, Kevin?
All right. Let's see. Lee from Toronto. When playing a triad, can I use 1, 2, and 5 fingers so I can be ready for a 7th chord? Or should I be disciplined and use 1, 3, and 5? Well, here's the thing. If you want to, be ready, quote unquote, for the 7th chord, you'd probably be doing fingers 1, 2, and 3 when you're playing triads, because then the 5th one would be the one playing the 7th. But maybe you're just saying using at least those fingers. I would say try and use 1, 3, 5. At the end of the day, if you're playing the chord, that's what matters. Yeah. But a lot of the time, people don't want to play 1, 3, and 5 because it's a little bit trickier because their pinky is not quite strong enough yet, and creating that distance kind of sometimes makes it easier for some people. So if that's the reason why, I would highly suggest trying the 1, 3, 5 fingering. But at the end of the day, if you're playing a C chord, it doesn't matter if you're playing it it does matter. If you can't play it like this. That was a little bit.
You can't even do that, Kevin.
But play it normally. Play it 1, 3, 5. That is what we suggest. That is the suggested fingering, but suggested.
Pierre, in Fur Elise, why can't we play it in C major? It's all the same notes.
Well, yes, it is all the same notes. So whenever you have a key signature and there's no sharps or no flats, you kind of have to decide what key is this song in. So at the very beginning, the main part of that song is very clearly, it sounds like this is when you've arrived at home. Like if I play all the notes, when I hit the A finally, it sounds like I've arrived at home. So we would call that the key of A minor. And songs, when the B section, it does go into that. It does feel very major for a moment. So it transitions to the key of C major for a second. Then we get that E major, which tells us we're about to go right back into A minor. So they are the same keys, but Fur Elise would be considered a song that's in A minor that temporarily moves to C, but the most part of the song is in A minor.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a tricky thing for when you're switching keys, because some songs, they will go from key to key for certain sections. So there is arguments to be had for certain songs where they go, oh no, the song's in A minor. Oh no, it's in C because of this part. And so you can have those kind of debates too, which is kind of fun. But Fur Elise is definitely in A minor. All
right. Rudnai month. Where to go next after we finish all your content? You'll never finish it because we're just going to keep on making it. Keeping on. Sylvia T, do the chord progression of the week will be able in the forums.
Will be available in the forums.
Oh, yes. Are we going to post this in the forums?
Yeah, we definitely can.
We'll post this for you in the forums.
There we go.
Mary, I just lost my screen.
Mary, let me read it. Any tips for working through a new piece that you don't have a demo for? I know there are clues in the music like dynamics, but I have a hard time figuring out what it's supposed to sound like.
Especially if you have to read the notes. I mean, if you give me a piece of music I've never heard before and I have to just read all of the notes and I have no way of hearing them, I just don't know. You can look at things like tempo suggestions, dynamic markings, get a feel for like the mood of the piece and your own interpretation and kind of do your very best. Double check your rhythm and your counting, practice with a metronome. That's all gonna help. But at the end of the day, I'm not a very good sight reader, and I've tried I thought I was playing something correctly, and then Eleanie's like, "What are you doing?" I believe her words were, "How do you call yourself a piano teacher?" I was like, "I didn't know the notes are hard." And then she plays it for me. I was like, "Ah." So it's all part of like your skill set. If you're a great sight reader, it's going to be way more likely you're going to play it right.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Mon.
And she did say, I have to say, Eleni did say that nicely. It wasn't jest. It was a very funny moment in our relationship. Just disclaimer there. But it was actually quite hilarious. It's very awkward when you have to ask your younger sister, did I get the notes right?
Okay, Mon. I'm having trouble counting in my head while also having the metronome on, while also trying to figure out what I'm playing.
Yeah.
Any tips? There's a lot going on in piano players' heads. We are trying to think about, sometimes it's like the pedal, and then your left hand, and then your right hand. Are you on time? And is the metronome going too fast? Am I going too fast? Am I slowing down?
Yeah.
Are my dynamics good? Do I have good articulation? It can be a lot, especially on piano when you're reading two staffs sometimes, when you're reading the grand staff.
It's too much.
It's too much. So your question here, you're having trouble counting in your head while having the metronome on. If you are practicing with the metronome right now, definitely try and lock into that. Like, instead of counting in your head, just focus on listening to that metronome and trying to be right on the beat, because you're gonna swear that sometimes the metronome's speeding up or slowing down, but it's not.
Actually, mine did.
Yours? Well, yeah, if you have like an old school metronome, then like sometimes it'll be like, if you don't crank it properly. But if you have a regular metronome, or you can set it the proper way, are you gonna pull out the metronome?
Yeah, I am, Kevin.
We have a metronome here on standby. A very fancy
my
metronome.
childhood metronome. Ow.
That's
This
your
is my childhood metronome.
Is it
This is
really?
the reason I have rhythm issues. Okay? So, I mean, it's kind of broken now.
Should we auction it off?
We should. I hate it so much.
Elise's childhood metronome.
Okay, it's really busted now, but like it used to be even. But the little turner thing is broken, like the mechanism is gone. But the story is, Kevin, it was not noticeable unless you played it to a digital click. Right. And I was swearing to my parents this thing was off, and they were swearing back to me I was off. And then I recorded something with this as my clicker, and my producer was like, "Lisa, your metronome's all over the map.
Interesting.
You have to do that with the digital." And I was like,
They're not foolproof, these ones at least. Digital ones, they're right 99.9% of the time.
this is so old.
That is an old school and so did you prefer like practicing with something like this, or like with a digital one?
Zero metronome.
Zero metronome. See, metronomes, they're like vegetables. They're really good for you.
Guess what this was
But
used as?
I can see what this was used as.
A coaster.
The
That's how
metronome,
mad I got. I was like, I will destroy you.
I will use make a coaster out of this.
I feel
That
kind of
is
bad
so
about it
good.
now.
Yeah, this is a piece of history.
I know. I'll fix it.
Yeah.
Truman, we could probably take this apart and make the clicky part work again, right? The turner.
Look forward.
I don't know what that's gonna end up with, but okay. I got us really distracted. So.
Okay, let's see. Kathy from Sydney. Kevin, it was James Morrison's birthday, or it is soon. I wanted to share a video with you, Kevin, but what is your email? The Aussie James Morrison. My email, if you want to email me or anyone wants to email me any questions or stuff like that, it is kevin@pianote.com.
Kevin?
I would love to see it, yeah. Shoot me an email. I would love to see the James Morrison video. And our last question, there's not even a name beside this, so I don't know if it...
Suspicious.
It's suspicious. But did you eat all the cupcakes?
Well, here's...
Oh, it's from Ed.
Okay,
There
Ed,
it is.
yes,
There's the name.
yes, I was saying at the beginning. So we shared, because sharing is caring,
Yes.
with our PIANOTE team.
The PIANOTE team,
And I
yes.
sent a couple of cupcakes home with Eleni so that the nieces could have some, because they're just so adorable, and there was a couple left. And then I took a couple of them home, hid them behind the hash browns in my freezer so that my family would not find them. Although my kid did call me the day before on Friday, and he was like, Mom, there's cupcakes. Can I eat them? He called 6 times, and I'm in a meeting, okay? So my kid's calling me over and over. I'm like, oh my God, something's wrong. So finally I'm like, Max, I'm texting him, what's going on? He said, can I eat the cupcakes? Oh my gosh, if you touch those cupcakes, you're dead to me. So he left them alone, and I ate them myself on Saturday.
Oh my.
That's the full story. Yes.
Oh.
You have to use strong language with them when they're 13.
Yeah, otherwise I'll just eat them.
Yeah, he's very entitled.
Yeah. What was it? Ask for forgiveness, not permission?
Yeah, and in this case, I think they kind of know now with cake and like sweets that it goes real intense real fast if they mess with it.
That's like the golden rule. Don't touch it. Don't touch the
mess
sweets.
with the treats. Ugh. Okay,
That's good.
we're taking a song request. We're gonna sing you guys out today, sing and play. Oh, really? That's too hard. I have a microphone.
You do have a microphone.
I would like to use it. Kevin's playing Alicia Keys, but it's gonna hurt everybody's ears. So we're watching the members chat to see if you guys have requests. Save me from singing this Alicia Keys song. Tim, that's
What?
crazy.
Oh my gosh.
I can't sing My Heart Will Go On. That's even harder. All right, here he goes.
Oh, we're going for it, hey? Yeah, it is.
I'm not warmed up at all. This is gonna be really bad. Let's hope it goes all right.
Here we go.
Some people live for the fortune. Some people live just for the fame. Some people live for the power. Yeah. Some people live just to play the game. Some people think that the physical things define what's within, and I've been there before, but that life's a bore so full of the superficial. But some people want it all, but I don't want nothing at all. If it ain't you, baby, if I ain't got you, baby. Some people want diamond rings, but I just want everything. But everything means nothing if I ain't got you. Yeah. Pow, pow, pow.
Singing Out is on Wednesday. Thank you, Tim.
We'll be here all day.
All right, yeah, what day is it today?
Monday,
Oh,
the 29th.
the 29th. It's all coming back to me, Celine. I don't know if Kevin knows that one, but it's gonna have to happen because it's like the most epic piano song. Do you know that
Hey,
one?
how does it start? Oh, yeah. I don't know what key to do.
I think it's in. It's in It's, oh, you do know it. How do you know this song?
From your little vocal melody right
Are
there.
you in C?
I'm not. I can.
I could just change keys.
It's going back to him. That's really good.
There were nights when the wind was so cold.
You have to do hand movements with this song.
That my body froze in bed if I just listened to it right outside the window. So close, yep. There were days when the sun was so cruel. All the tears turned to dust, and I just knew my eyes were drying up forever. And then there's like a different section here. Oh yeah. I finished crying in the instant that you left, and I can't remember when or how. And I banished every memory you and I had ever made. And but when you touch me like this and you hold me like that, I just have to admit that it's all coming back to me when I touch you like this and I hold you like that. It's so hard to believe that it's all coming back to me. Oh my gosh, look at you go! Take it away, Goodman. Now in the 2000s. Thank you, Lisa Art. I was just goofing around there, but we'll be back with more of that goodness. Another round of Kevin plays a song he's never played before. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. It's always so much fun. We'll be back next week with a new topic, new piano news, and new performances. See you guys later.